Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles GPITRAL. Follow us.
The SPCA have been called to a property in West Auckland where many sheep have been massacred. Under cover of darkness, it appears two marauding dogs have savaged their way through this unsuspecting flock.
Right. They've obviously spent maybe the night chasing all the sheep around. Obviously they've destroyed quite a few. Vet's just going through and checking. And one over there's lost both its ears. Yes, it's absolutely horrendous.
The culprits have left many badly injured sheep in need of urgent medical attention. A lot cannot be saved. In the aftermath of the slaughter, the local vet and other volunteers have arrived to help.
We work quite closely with Waitaka Animal Welfare. I do, because West is part of my area. So we always call each other for a hand. And something like this, we just need to call everybody in to help round up the sheep. We just have to pull together.
It's evident the dogs were well fed and only in it for the chase and catch. If they'd been hungry, they'd have devoured their targets. Instead, they maimed and injured their prey.
I was just on a phone call on my cell phone this morning, about 9 o'clock I suppose it was, and so I came straight here. I had a job to go to, docking job, so I just came straight here, and there was just sheep lying everywhere, dead and wounded, and just wasn't a pretty sight.
Most of the sheep will never recover from their injuries. Graham is left with the mess, the cost, and his anger at the irresponsible dog owners who have unwittingly allowed this to happen.
It's not the dog's fault, it's the owner's fault for letting the dogs off, you know, at night, and it's going to cost me heaps.
As a result of the attack, some lambs were separated from their mothers and now lack crucial nutrition.
But he's weak, but he probably hasn't fed in the last 12 hours, so maybe with the feed, some antibiotics and some warmth and disinfectant, we could give him a go. So.
Remarkably, there is some good news. Karen has spotted one of the surviving ewes calling for her lamb. She's hopeful of a successful reunion.
Oh, look!
There you go. You can't get much better than that.
Always a silver lining, huh?
Animal Welfare Officer Tom Didovich has been called in to assess the situation and help find the dogs responsible.
There's the possibility the dogs will come back because they've already been here once, they've had good sport. If they're still wandering loose and the owners haven't woken up to that fact, then they could come back. So we would look at siting a couple of dog traps with bait in on the site here. We might have somebody patrolling the area. The stock owner would maybe be sitting out, group the stock together in a place of safety and keep an eye on them tonight. And during the day, we're just going to be following through with inquiries to try and match up the dogs responsible.
Back at the village, the SPCA is taking custody of a new temporary resident. A ferret was found roaming unsupervised in the suburbs and has been picked up by Education Officer Ali Ryan.
Abandoned, possibly ferret. Nice. St John's area. Very friendly though. Great. She was phoned in by a member of the public last night as a stray that had turned up on their property, which they'd actually found underneath their house, and they've asked the neighbours, and no one knows where it would have come from. And she's lovely. She's very friendly, so there's a huge possibility that she is owned.
She may be an animal lover, but colleague Vicky Border is definitely not keen on ferrets.
Yuck. They're an unfortunate animal that haven't quite fitted into society as neatly as some of the other domesticated animals, being that they are so destructive on the wildlife.
First time that I've ever touched one of these.
Ferrets were once fashionable as pets, but in recent years they've become the scourge of environmentalists. They are now officially regarded as pests in New Zealand, and owners need a permit to keep them.
They were all a rage at one stage, but unfortunately as things come and go, we were finding them being abandoned in car parks, hutch and all, which is a huge issue, just the same as people would abandon rabbits and so on. Ferrets were in that same class. So it may not be such a good thing being caught.
Now I've got to figure out what to do with it. I'm not a rodent person.
The prospects for this pest don't look good, and it's soon to become a matter of life or death. Last week, a Shar-Pei cross puppy was brought in from a South Auckland street. A poorly executed home docking had almost proved fatal. After surgery, the dog fully recovered and is now up for adoption.
We've had only a few people look at her since she's been here, and because of her breed, we've been pretty careful as to who adopts her. Just because the Shar-Pei, their temperament, they can tend to be a little bit dominant, and they can, if allowed to be a little bit aggressive with other dogs. And so we want her to go to a home where people understand that. The only people that we've had look at her sort of look at her and think she's cute, and that's as much of their knowledge of dogs, and we really need someone that that knows a little bit about dogs and is experienced.
Rachel's hoping that person can be found in the Hamilton region. Right now, the Waikato SPCA are very short of puppies for adoption, so this dog and a few others are making a trip south today. Inspector Sue Bourdais is taking the precious cargo to meet up with Waikato Inspector Jenny Greener.
There you go, there's the paperwork.
Excellent, thank you very much.
The owner tried to dock her tail, kind of a little bit further down, and did a really, really bad job of it. And we removed her from the property and did the job properly.
She's got a little brother as well, hasn't she?
She's got a little brother that's still at work, and she's just gorgeous.
Take you for a nice ride back to Hamilton, eh, sweetheart? Good girl.
With the puppies safely transferred, Sue's Waikato colleague has asked her to help with a poultry problem nearby.
There's a chicken that you spotted this morning, didn't you?
Somebody came by while I was waiting for you and said that a chicken had been dumped in the area, and it's been running in between the trees over there, so we're going to go and try and catch it and rescue it.
Never one to turn down a challenge, Sue is totally up for a wild chicken chase.
Okay. Where is it?
She's lying down, might be able to get her straight away. She's just in there.
Almost cornered, but not quite.
There she is.
No one said it would be easy.
Damn. Oh. She's under this one now. You go around that way.
Skirts.
Oh!
It's all about net technique, and Sue's been practicing.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, sweetie, it's all right, it's all right. Crikey! All right. Oh, good lordy. Crikey, that's a feisty chicken.
Oh, very.
I'm just going to put a towel over her because
All right,
she's pretty stressed, and it just might calm her down a little bit. It's all right. Okay. It's one feisty chicken.
With the poultry pacified and the puppies heading south, it's back to business as usual for the SPCA. A farm in Swanson has again been the target of dog attacks that savaged sheep there the previous day.
Poor girl. Classic dog attack round the throat. All these fresh puncture wounds. Just major holes. Slit waist.
Graham Mooney and Karina Mules find themselves in the same cruel predicament they faced 24 hours earlier.
We've shot the ones who were too sick to survive, and some of them died, from their wounds. So it's been, how many? 30?
35.
Animal control have set traps, but they obviously didn't work, and they came back last night. So out of 100, we've got 21 healthy sheep, and the rest are either dead or sick.
Having lost thousands of dollars worth of stock, they're determined to find the dogs responsible.
If your property is not fenced and you do not have a dog run or anything like that, then don't buy a dog, because your dog will not stay in the property and it will go out scavenging at night time and end up at farms like this, ripping all our sheep's throats out and leaving a great big massacre for us to clean up. It's just not fair. I mean, those people out there know who those dogs are because they would have come home and they would have been covered in blood. You know, it just annoys me. It brasses me off.
Despite wide publicity, nobody has come forward with information, and Graham is worried about the bigger picture.
The only way we're going to stop them is with a bullet, isn't it? The next thing, they're going to be into kids, these dogs. You know, if we take all the sheep out of here, they're going to be into kids.
It's time to round up the remaining sheep. Because the traps failed last night, animal welfare officers plan around-the-clock surveillance.
We've moved the sheep into here as live bait, basically, and the guys are going to pull their cars up fairly close to the sheep, and hopefully the dog's going to come back and they'll get a good shot at them. I feel a bit sorry for them left in here as live bait, but everyone's watching them, so they should be okay. Fingers crossed tonight's the night. The boys here, they'll hopefully get them.
So we get the devils, yeah.